As we already mentioned in the previous presentation, that is in the late Pleistocene time, Homo erectus was succeeded by early Homo sapiens, that is a modern man. Okay. A number of transitional forms between Homo erectus and Homo sapiens were known from Europe, and they were from Germany, then from England, and France, then from another from Germany. Okay, each one had its own name, and everywhere we had collected almost complete skull fossils. Okay, and from these transitional forms of some 2 million years ago, two fairly distinct types emerged, namely the Neanderthal man and Homo sapiens of modern time. The Neanderthal man, or Homo neanderthalensis, uh, it was otherwise referred as Homo sapiens neanderthalensis. The fossils, consisting of a skull cap together with a few ribs and limb bones, were discovered from a cave in the Neanderthal Valley of Germany in 1856. Okay. Um, since then, a large number of complete Neanderthal fossils, popularly regarded as prehistoric man, have been discovered from Europe, Asia, and North Africa. And they were stout, powerfully built people. Men were a little more than 5 feet in height, and the women somewhat shorter. The average brain capacity was about 1,450 centimeter cube. Um, Almost like on an average, it was about like around 1,500 centimeter cube. Mm, Forehead was low and slanting, and heavy eyebrow ridges projected from the orbits of the eye, over the orbits of the eye actually. The teeth were large, and also there was no chin. They made tools much more skillfully than earlier men. They buried the dead and believed in immortality of the spirit. Uh, and fossils which have sometimes been discovered Neanderthalian have also been found in other parts like Germany, South Africa, and Java. And it has been named in a different way, like Homo heidelbergensis from Germany. Heidelberg, that was the place, and that is how the species name came up. It was discovered in 1907. Then Homo rhodensis, or rhodesiensis, or Rhodesian man, from Rhodesia, South Africa, 1921. And then came up Homo solensis, or Solomon, found on the banks of Solo River in Java. Neanderthal man became extinct some 25,000 years ago, and they were succeeded by Homo sapiens of the modern time. Okay, so among the first of the Homo sapiens, the modern man, it was the Cro Magnon man. That we can see that it is from the what you call Neanderthal man, the Cro Magnon arose. So we can see that the great Homo sapiens, there were at least two different anatomical types: the bulky built, heavily muscled Neanderthal, and slim-bodied Cro Magnon. Okay, and the skeleton of Neanderthal man was first unearthed in 1856 from Germany. And as we have already seen, they had large brains with an average capacity around 1,450 centimeter cube, as against 1,350 centimeter cube in modern humans. They made complex stone tools where they were accomplished hunters of large game, used animal hides as clothing, withstood the rigors of the bitter cold climate of the last glaciation. And there is evidence that Neanderthals buried their dead with various ritual objects. Okay, that had been collected from the various archaeological sites. Okay, so it was the first fossil hominin uh, discovered and described. And the first two Neanderthal finds were from Belgium by Schmerling in 1829, and then Gibraltar in 1848. They were not recognized as such for many years, and this changed in 1856 after workers at the cave in Neander Valley, Germany, discovered a partial human skeleton and passed it to local naturalist Fulrod. And since it was named based upon the valley discovered, Neanderthal came up. Okay, And the skull's unusual features convinced him that he had found a fossil human. In collaboration with anatomist, uh, he published the detail on the first Neanderthalensis skull. The name means human from Neander Valley. That is the name means. Okay, and obviously we have already mentioned where it was located. You can see from various parts of what you call the Southwest Asia, then England, then Northern Africa, and all. Okay, and a number of entire skeletons have been obtained. The first Neanderthal specimen discovered was that of an infant, just under 2 years old. And since then, 180 years of excavation across Europe have generated a unique and remarkable fossil record of Neanderthal fetuses, babies, children, and adolescents. And these finds provide valuable information about the rate and pattern of growth in Neanderthals and how the distinctive features of these hominins developed with age, what diseases they suffered from, what they ate, and how children were treated in death. So, no other hominin fossil species were represented by so many juveniles. Then what are the various bodily features? You can see the skull was large with an average cranial capacity of 1475 cubic centimeter, which is slightly more than that of the modern humans. The cranial vault was long with a large forehead, low forehead, and uh, you can see here this is what they refer to. Okay, the bun and the or the what you call a swelling like at the rear. The face is not as vertical as in modern humans. The eye sockets had separate arched brow ridges. The nasal opening is large, and the fleshy nose has probably made prominent. The jaws are big with front teeth that are larger than in modern humans and narrower back teeth. And there is a gap behind the last molar. So you can see here, these are the few features of the skull obtained. You can see it is almost complete. The skull is complete, almost complete. Okay. The physical features, obviously, the height, it is, as we have already seen in Homo erectus, it is almost like 5 feet to 6 feet height. Then brain size, we have already seen it is almost like 1500 or 1475 cubic centimeter. And all bones of the skeleton are present in the Neanderthal fossil record, and it shows they had adaptations to, or they had developed adaptations to like ice ages, to the cold environments of ice age Europe. Um, then obviously they have their own what you call tool making systems. You can see it's very like they have used to make stone tools, uh, and a vast collection of their stone tools had been obtained through archaeological excavations. Um, so this is about the Neanderthal man. Then we have the Cro Magnon man. The fossil remains of Cro Magnon, or the Homo sapiens, a representative of our species Homo sapiens, were unearthed from a French rock shelter in the village of Les Esgues, and they were about 35,000 years old. Yeah, the Cro-Magnon people occurred in Europe and left behind very elaborate cave paintings showing attainment of a form of culture not unlike our own. And we do not know about the birthplace of modern Homo sapiens. Modern humans may have been cradled in Asia or Africa. That is what even there are plenty of fossils which show that show evidences to prove that particular assumption as well. Africa has become increasingly the focus for investigation into human origins and differentiation. So we have plenty of such what you call the fossils for proving that the modern humans have evolved from Africa. Um, in all respects, Cro-Magnon man was essentially like modern Europeans. They were about 6 feet in height and with a large skull, broad face, rounded forehead, narrow nose, and a prominent chin. Uh, their brain capacity was about 1,660 centimeter cube. They lived in Europe and other parts of the world for about 30,000 to 13,000 BC until they were replaced by the modern man, Homo sapiens. And during the last 10,000 years and more, it became a species of worldwide distribution through migration, interbreeding, and hybridization. Evolution from Cro Magnon man onwards was essentially as evolution of culture rather than that of anatomy. So they acquired improved techniques of manufacturing stone weapons and tools. As already mentioned, stone carvings and cave paintings, color paintings on the walls of the caves indicated the nature of these stone implements and the way of life of the makers of them. Cultivation of plants and domestication of animals became common. So, we can say that there was a shift from hunters to farmers, and chipped stone implements were replaced by polished ones. Pottery was manufactured, and all these made bear support to the fact that there had been a cultural civilization, um, development of cultural civilization. Okay, so all these show it is more closer to the modern day humans. Okay, so here you can see discovered in 1868, the first one from Les Azes, France, almost complete, and it is almost similar to that of the modern human. Okay, okay. So the modern humans, modern man, Homo sapiens, after more than 7 million years of hominin evolution, Homo sapiens, it is the only surviving branch of the hominin family tree, and all the other Homo sapiens uh, like lineages all got wiped out. They appeared in Africa about 2 million years ago. It is clear that Homo sapiens today is the last remaining living hominin species, and that population have expanded into every corner of the world. And the first modern, the what do you call, earliest current fossil evidence for modern humans comes from the Omo Basin in Ethiopia, dated to 195,000 years ago. The fragmented skulls and skeletons of two individuals shows uh, a modern morphology in form and structure. And this is about the discovery. Okay, Homo sapiens, the name means refers to the wise man, that is more intelligent species. And from various sites across Africa, you can see all these red marks spreading all worldwide. And it is 200,000 years ago to the present day. And obviously, the complete skull and almost complete fragments have been obtained. The skeleton of Homo sapiens, it is in common with other hominins. You can see shows adaptations for efficient bipedalism, but is distinctive in being lightly built. The lower limbs are long and gracile, slender, and the thigh bones are angled to keep the center of the gravity tight under the body. The pelvis is quite narrow and short, particularly in males, and the weight-bearing hip joint surface is large. And in the foot, the toes are stocky, the arches are well developed, and the ankle bones are big and strong. The spine is curved to maintain balance and distribute body weight effectively during walking, with large vertebrae in the lumbar region. The rib cage is barrel-shaped, and the arms are relatively short. The hands are dexterous, with opposable thumbs and excellent precision grip. So, for maneuvering tools or even other things, as we have already mentioned, all other whatever modern man are efficient in, it is because of the opposable thumbs. Okay. Now, refined tools, you can see the tools. No, it's not the tools alone, but it is actually more polished, more what you call refined tools have been made by these people.